All right. I'd like to welcome you to another episode of How I Came Into the Truth. Today we have Sister Michelle. I'd like to welcome you and say good evening to you.
Good evening.
Oh man, so what I'd like to do before we get started is give everybody an opportunity to introduce themselves to the people.
Okay. I'm Michelle. I'm married to Brother Reggie. And we've been in the Word about 5 years. It'll be 5 years July 2021. So, right. It did go fast. So, yeah, that's about it. I got 3 boys, no girls, just all boys. And that's pretty much our story.
Oh, okay. So you are originally from Atlanta?
I am. I grew up in East Point. We moved to Lithonia when I was like in the 11th grade, but I pretty much grew up in like East Point.
Oh, okay. So you came up in those, I guess, the Atlanta good days, right?
Yeah, exactly. Before the streets got crowded, everything was. Before the streets got crowded, everything was normal. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't flaming here.
But you know what they say cause that?
What?
I guess the Olympics.
Oh yeah, after the
true?
Olympics, yep.
Oh,
after the
really?
Olympics, it kind of went crazy. Olympics
okay.
and Freaknik.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Everybody thought that was like the everyday thing.
Right.
That's how Reggie ended up here.
To Atlanta?
Yeah.
Is that right?
His mom was living here. He said he came to Freaknik.
He didn't tell me that in the story.
Yeah. That's how he ended up here.
That's what Atlanta was known for.
Right.
You know, so that's crazy because you hear a lot of good stories about, about Atlanta. So I always ask people from Atlanta, like, is it really what it
is? Of course.
Back, back during that time.
Yeah, the regular Atlanta time.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Well, that's good. Well, as you know, when we look at this platform here, we, try to get into the story of how people came into the Word. But before we get into that, did you come up like I guess religiously?
No. Absolutely not. Like we knew about God, we knew what they taught about praying, but going to church every Sunday, that wasn't a thing. It was like we would go in the neighborhood, like we would go to just have something to do, but that wasn't a thing, like being in church all day, growing up in the church. That wasn't it.
Well, that's actually pretty good.
That's amazing because I think that's why I was able to grasp so fast to the Word, because I really didn't have nothing to wash out outside of regular tradition stuff like holidays, but it wasn't anything to stand on because we weren't taught.
So y'all knew that?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, man, my household was completely different.
Yeah, mine was nothing like that. It was just a regular day.
Wow. Yeah, that's good because coming into the Word, a lot of the reason people don't want to deal with the Word is because all the stuff that's been put inside them, all the lies and stuff. They don't want to let it go.
Right, exactly. So yeah, I ain't had that issue.
That's good. That's good.
None at all.
Well, and like I said, that's good because a lot of people, it's hard.
Exactly. Yeah, I hear a lot of stories like 7-day Adventists in church. We didn't have that growing up. It was, they was partying on Friday, Saturday night. Everybody wake up Sunday tired. It'd be the recap that afternoon. It was nothing like that. Like they taught we believed in God and believed in Jesus, but it was pretty much, you prayed your way into heaven. Like it was like you didn't have to do nothing as long as you prayed every day and you pray for the things you wanted. That's all we was taught.
Right.
No type of foundation on the Bible or anything.
Well, how did y'all look at the Bible?
We didn't. What you mean look at it?
I'm saying, like, did y'all just look at it? Did y'all have respect for it, or was it just like a regular book?
It was just like.
Or was it like?
It was a decoration piece.
Man wrote it, so it.
No. Really... It was related to being like a Baptist, and you knew. You had a respect for it. It wasn't just man wrote it. Like They wasn't that deep then.
Right.
Like
but y'all still had respect for the Bible.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I the reason I asked that because, just considering you coming up, not really, like most black families be going to church, which is good. I asked that because did y'all have any type of respect for the Bible? And I was asking that because when you get to coming into the truth, all of that is out of the Bible.
Right.
So that's what I was asking. How did y'all look at the book? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just to determine, was it easy for you to listen to Brother Reggie when he come home talking about the Bible?
Oh yeah, it was easy. It wasn't like, oh no, I don't believe that or nothing like that. Like we had a respect for it. Like don't do a respect in a man made sense. Like don't do certain stuff around the Bible. Or this how I prove you telling the truth. Put your hand on the Bible.
Right.
Like that. Like we believe that it was about Jesus. It was about God. It was the story, but we didn't think it was like man-made or anything like that. We just didn't read it. We didn't go to church on Sunday.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, taking you to when you came into the Word, how was it? How was the seed first planted?
Okay, so the Word was never planted like we was doing anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So how I started questioning things, I watched this movie.
So you did question.
I had a question like, I watched this movie called God Is Not Dead. I don't know if you ever heard about it.
Yeah, it was like a movie or something, right?
Yeah. So the whole movie, you had this man in there, like he's supposed to be the evil person. So he get hit by a car at the end, he died. So the man who's supposed to be religious, he pray over him and say, repeat after me and you will make it into heaven.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw that, I was like, man, I was like, it can't be that easy. Like, you just can't do what you want to do.
Wow.
And then you able to pray and ask for forgiveness, and then you just automatically in heaven. Then that's when something kind of clicked in my head.
You
like,
weren't even going to the movie for that, was you?
No. I'm going to the movie to just watch the movie because I heard it was a good movie, but that's the only thing that stuck out to me. I can't even tell you what was the storyline in the movie. Like, that's what stuck out to me at the end.
Wow.
And so then, okay, we had started going to Sunday church because, like, in my adulthood, because I'm thinking, like, this is what we supposed to do. I got kids. I want to raise them up to do this. But, so I'm thinking, like, I need the work that I needed to do was going to church, like, volunteering that little stuff in church.
Oh, okay.
But I always had the question, like, oh, it can't be that easy. Like, we got to do something else. Like, this don't make no sense to me. But that's what kind of like struck the question in my head when I saw that movie. Like, I'm like, this ain't true.
So up until this time, you ain't really.
I ain't really have
no questions until you see this movie.
And one time I was at home and reading the Bible. I was looking for Christmas in the Bible. Mm-hmm. I was just looking for it to see like how we came up with Christmas.
Oh.
And the reason I was doing that because I was broke.
Really? Oh yeah.
Look, y'all like, hold on, let me see what's going on. Like, we really supposed to be doing this. Look, I just need one reason.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I was looking for that. I never found it. I think I called my daddy or something. That you'll have to know him. Yeah, I was like, Daddy, what Christmas at? I don't see Christmas in here. Oh, it's in there. It's in there somewhere.
It ain't in nothing.
Yeah, it's nowhere. I'm busy right now. You're gonna have to call me back.
Oh my goodness. Well, so how you end up finding out about the truth then? Because like I guess was y'all going to any like Sunday churches and stuff like that?
We were going to Church of Chapel Hill in Douglasville. Me and my husband. So he was, ever since we met, he was just like, I need a church that read from the Bible. So we would just be looking at certain churches. So we started going there. It was kind of like a mixture of people. I feel like it was good for me because at the time I had like an issue with white people. So, but that church was really mixed, and I remember telling him like, I think I needed this because it gave me a different look on white people. Like I truly, it was turning into hate.
Wow.
For white people. So when I went there and saw that, it was like everybody's not what I've experienced, because I had some bad experiences to where I started to group all of them the same. So when I went there, it kind of made me open up. But anyway, to make it, he started asking like, who is the children of Israel? Mm-hmm. He started going here first. So he passed by the church one day and saw Israel on the sign. Right. And he said he came over here. I remember he came home and he told me, he was like, man, I found a church with Israel on it. I'm about to go back up there. Now, it's Saturday. He had to work on Saturday. He had to be to work at night. So I was like, okay, go on up there. Mm-hmm. So, because I'm just thinking in my head, like, it's just another church. They just go on Saturday. So, wow. I was like, okay, what that means? So, he came.
Oh, wow.
When he left, he called me. He was like, this it right here. You got to come. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I wasn't really excited, not to say that I was scared, but it just wasn't. I'm just thinking it's just something else.
Like the rest of them.
Yeah, like the rest of them. So
wow.
I think he came twice. He came 2 weeks in a row. And I was getting up to get ready to go to church on Sunday, and someone was just like, I just don't even feel like going. I just didn't even have the energy to go. Right. So that next Saturday, we end up coming here, and JD was teaching. Mm-hmm. And he was teaching about the Sabbath. And and it had like a long thing of scripture. I was like, hold on, what? And you know, he long-winded. So but the whole time I'm like, okay, so Saturday is really the Sabbath. Yeah. And the class wasn't about what you were supposed to do on the Sabbath. It was about the seventh day being the Sabbath. Right. So it wasn't, even after that class, I still had no outline of what was to be done and not be done on the Sabbath. But I found out in that class that Saturday was the day that you were supposed to be in church.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Well, before y'all came into the word, what was the I guess the nail in the coffin to say we done with Sunday church, or were y'all just still going to church and then Reggie happened to find it, or y'all took a break off? We
never took a break. It was from Sunday church. Then the next Saturday we was here.
Oh, really?
Literally, yes. He came 2 in a row, and then I had went, I think, one time with his mom. That's how, because she the one introduced us to the church. But when I came that Saturday, after that, we never went back.
Man.
Yeah, it was no breaks. It was no breaks in between. But, I mean, when you hear it, you just, you know. Yeah, you just know that's it.
Man, just to be at one, and I asked that because, you know, like, you know, some people have those, well, I went at home and I looked around for some time until I found it. But going from a Sunday church the next week, I think one other person did that I know of so far, and I think it might have been Harvey.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Harvey.
You know what? They went to Elizabeth. They was telling me we went to Elizabeth Baptist Church too, but we went to the one on Cascade.
Right, okay. Well, he was saying that he went to Elizabeth. And I was listening to his interview yesterday, and he was talking about another one, New City or something like that, in Union City. But he did the same thing. He came first, and then he went home and told his wife, the place they found, and that he found it. That was it. This is it, you know.
This is it.
But what he did was he did go back the following Sunday, right, just to show his wife that these people not reading the Bible like they are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just so they got up just to prove a point, you know. So that's good though. Well, did y'all have any different obstacles, you know, that y'all might have went through coming into the word?
I mean, together?
Yeah, well, no, I guess family.
Oh, of course. I remember the first year we started celebrating Christmas. Now, my family is very, like, close-knit when it comes to stuff like that. That's the time that they get together, they do stuff. So I remember I called, and I was talking to my granddaddy. He was living with my aunt. So I was like, no, he called me. On Christmas Day, he called me. So at first I wasn't going to pick up the phone. I was like, I'm just going to go on and pick up the phone and just go ahead and nip this in the bud now. So he was like, hey, how you doing? I was like, I'm good. He was like, Merry Christmas. I was like, Granddad, I don't do Then the crazy part is my daddy called, he done called the whole family. Michelle don't celebrate Christmas no more. You would think I was out here robbing people. He done called everybody like I done broke some laws or something.
Wow.
So he called, he was like, Merry Christmas. I was like, Granddad, I don't celebrate Christmas no more. Now keep in mind he live with my auntie now. He was like, what? I ain't know that. They called me Moshelle. He was like, I ain't know that, Moshelle. Yeah, right. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I don't do that no more, Granddaddy. He was like, oh, okay. Get a phone to my aunt who he lived with. Merry Christmas. I'm like, girl, you know my dad. And then she was like, Merry Christmas. I was like, I don't celebrate Christmas no more. Your daddy told me. I was like, so why the hell you saying Merry Christmas then? You already know this. Like, why we going through this? So what do y'all celebrate?
Oh, man.
I tell her the feast days. Guess what she said at the end? I remember this. She was like, oh, sounds weird.
Whoa.
I said, let me call you back. Cause it was about to go left. I said, let me call you right back. I'm gonna call you back. That was her exact words. That sounds weird.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
And you told her it was out the Bible?
Yeah, I said, well, it's in the Bible. I told her where to go and everything. Well, it still sounds weird. I was like, okay, let me call you back.
Oh man, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, usually everybody got somebody,
Yep.
family, friends, or something.
That they going back and forth with.
Right.
Mine would probably be my daddy because he is very boastful. Like my mom kind of like laid back. Like she to go to, and the crazy thing is, we never went to Sunday church growing up. You know this man in the men's choir now.
Oh, wow.
we come, look, we never went to church growing up. I'm like, he dressing up every Sunday going to sing in the men's choir. You ain't even do this when we were growing up. So when I come in the word, this what you want to do?
Oh, is that why he got
Yeah, that's what about the time they started.
Hold
when
on,
he
wait a minute,
joined the church and everything.
Was it like a competition or
I have no idea.
Like they feel bad because you actually serving God and they got to go do something?
Yeah, you got to do something. Well, this what we do.
Well, why don't you just come over here?
That's what I'm saying. Like, he in the men's choir, got on the suit,
Him
big shoulder.
and Tony can sing together.
Period. He can't sing though. That's the thing. They drowning him out. He just doing something. But he the one who's most boastful. Like my mom, she real laid back.
Right.
But my dad, he's gonna be the one every time. It's like he say stuff to like spark a conversation. It's to the point that I had to tell him, you know what? If you're not genuinely asking me something to learn, we can't talk.
Oh man.
We can't talk. Like I'm not gonna sit here and debate with you to be debating with you. Like you have to be genuinely asking me a question.
Right.
Yeah.
But they never ask those questions coming up in
Ever.
False churches. We never ask no questions.
And the last debate we had, my younger brother, he Muslim.
Oh man.
So I stopped by there it was Easter Sunday. I forgot I stopped by there to get something. So while I'm waiting at the door, my little brother was over there, so he would leave. So my mom was like, hold on, let me baste my ham. So my little brother was like, what? Y'all eating ham on the day he's resurrected? Y'all eating swine on the day? But he's mocking them.
Right.
He Muslim and he know you ain't supposed to be eating that,
right.
And he know y'all resurrection day is trash.
Right.
He know all of this and he Muslim. So my daddy, I'm just gonna pray over it. So I was like, Lord have mercy, I got to say something. I'm just trying to get in here and get out. So I say something. He go off on me. He say, you messing up my day. I said, I ain't even saying that. I like Snugger the one, got my little brother Snugger. I said, he started it. He the one started it. I said, but I'm coming with scriptures though. He just saying opinion. Right. I said, that's the problem. Ain't nobody messing up my day. I'm finna eat this ham. And I was like, Lord have mercy, man. Give me what I need then so I can get on up out of here.
Man.
Yes.
That's definitely what the book will do, man.
Yes. And it's him. It's my dad every time.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, somebody gotta,
that one person
help you get stronger.
And it's him.
Yeah.
It's
somebody
him.
Gotta do it.
Yes.
So, going from coming up, your childhood, to coming into the Word, you probably didn't hear. I don't know. Most of us find out about Israel once we get a little older. Mm-hmm. Like, I guess the past 10, 15 years, it done kind of blew up.
Right.
So, Did you ever have any questions about like who we were as a people?
No.
So when it came to the Bible, was it easy to?
It was easy because I never had to wash out my head. Like I never thought about who the children of Israel was. And as a matter of fact, I never tied the Jewish people to being the chosen ones. Like it was never a thing in my head to know who the chosen people of God were.
Okay, so when you got to the Bible, then was it easy to understand it?
It was very easy.
Right.
I had nothing to delete. So
right.
When I read it, I was like, oh yeah, this plain and simple. It's us.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, and I have to realize that when I'm talking to other people, because everybody don't have that. Everybody have in their head that it's the Jewish people.
Right.
So I'm like, it was so simple for me. Like, but for everybody just like, well, you know, they've been through a lot too. I'm like, man, these people own neighborhoods. Like, you ever been to North Druid Hills, Toco Hills? Everything up there is owned by Jewish people.
Synagogues up there.
Yes, I'm like, there's nothing deprived about this group of people. Nothing.
Right. It's funny you say that because I could never tie, even though they said it. I just could never tie the Jewish people to the Bible. Like, in other words, when people say they're the chosen people, I would say, nah, it's us. It's something about us in that book. Right. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. It makes sense now, but yeah, you're right. You know, especially when you, like you say, you had nothing to delete. Right. You know, so you seen it, and then you didn't have to fight nothing. Right. But you do got to deal with people, like you said. They just don't get it. Yeah, because it's been hammered. Mainly over here in America. Right, yes. Them people the real Jews. Yes. You got John Hagee. Yeah, exactly. And you got white people who know that black people are Israel. Right. And don't believe that Jewish people. I got a friend at work, she an older lady, like in her 60s. She said, you know what, we was raised to hate Jewish people because they considered to be liars. But she didn't know what she was saying. But I was like, why you say that? She said they lie about their whole life. They lie about who they are. So we go into a conversation. So I was like, that's crazy. Like, we can't even tell our own people that you the chosen ones. Right. But you got this Gentile here and clear. That's why the Lord said, ox know his owner. Right. Israel do not consider at all. They sure don't, right. They sure don't, man. So when you looked at the word, you know, like you had something to identify with, right? Attached to. Exactly, and it kind of give you a sense of like a little bit of confidence, and that helped me too with like I really had an issue with Gentiles. Like they helped me. I'm like, they was here. We're in this position because our ancestors, like. No man had like the power to overtake a whole nation of people like on his own. Like it was because God ordained it. Like it was like no man had the ability. I was telling a friend that because she's on like the Bible man-made and it was used in slavery to control us and stuff like that. So I was just telling her like, how do you think a nation of people that was so strong and so exalted, how do you think another man that's just a man had the power to overtake these people? She was like, I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question. Like they just a man just like we men. Like I can't see us, Israel, going into like go to London and think you're gonna take over Buckingham Palace. Right. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Right. Unless you got some help. Unless you got some help, and it has to be a higher power. Right. She was just like, I don't know, and the conversation ended there. I don't even know if she thought about it again, but it just ended. Wow. I know, like, but the way that I know, she don't want to believe that that's it. Because the Bible man. She don't believe in the Bible. She don't believe in the Bible at all. Well, yeah, just gotta pray for them because whether they know it or not, without it, they lost. And that's exactly what she is, lost. Man. Lost.
going in circles.
That's what ended up happening. You just keep spinning around.
Yes.
Don't never get nowhere.
Ever. Just going in circles.
Don't go nowhere. And that's what the word do. When the Lord introduce it to you, it kind of like I said, it gives you some stability.
It do. It sustains you. It really does.
Right.
Yeah, it does.
You got to be going all in circles. You got to go here and look. And once you got it, that's it.
Right. Chasing stuff that's vanity, that stuff tiring.
It is. Especially like you said, I know you was tired because you say you had to, you had to go try to find Christmas in the Bible.
Well, look, let me see what's going on because I ain't got no money anyway. Yes, it really sustains you.
Yeah, it does. Mm-hmm. So how would you say, at this point, it's impacted your life?
It has, I would say, I'm a completely different person because I really have something to stand on. Mm-hmm. I say that because I would be known as the person with the attitude problem. Mm-hmm. I still fight it because I'm not perfect, but I understand it's a bigger picture. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes I would have moments, especially with my family. I would have moments, and my husband have to remind me, you just have to remember salvation is on the line. And the purpose is to win souls. Right. He was like, how in one conversation you're gonna be telling them that they're not doing this, but you ready to go off about any little thing. Right. So it definitely sustains you, and it definitely gives me a different type of hope. Like I'm not racing after something that may never happen when it comes to cares of this world. Mm-hmm. Like working all the time, trying to attain material things. Right. It's just, even when I look at my friends and things that I grew up with, the conversation don't even interest me anymore. Because it's like the things that you talk about it's vanity, right. The things that you talk about. So it definitely gives you a different type of rest. It really, I think it has gave me a different type of rest. No longer questioning, the biggest question that we have when you don't have the word, you looking, you're trying to do everything right, but it look like you still struggling. Mm-hmm. But you got people who look like they got everything, and we related that to being blessed. Right.
Yeah, well, I think that was,
yes.
That was the memo.
You related you being blessed, the Lord don't love you if you don't have all these material things. Right. So I say I got the biggest blessing of all because I feel like I have a true chance now.
Right.
You know what I'm like? I have a.
Well. Let me just interject. Mm-hmm. Well, since you say one of your weaknesses is being a people pleaser.
Right.
So how did that work out coming into the word and at the same time knowing that you have to deal with people that you care about, possibly losing them?
I'm no longer a people pleaser.
Hey, that answers it right there.
Exactly. I'm no longer a people pleaser because I'm pleasing God. Mm-hmm. You don't determine my salvation. You don't determine my eternal life. You don't determine none of that. So right. I'm no longer a people pleaser.
Right. So did that change happen as soon as you found out the word, or just had some time?
Over time. That's exactly where I'm at now, but
because I guess I'm going back more toward when y'all first got the word. Yeah. So you got to break this habit.
Right, got to break this habit of pleasing people. And right. How can I put this? I would avoid certain conversations because I knew where it would go. Only right. Because I didn't want to, I would say, upset anybody. Mm-hmm. I wanted to make it seem like I was still the Michelle that everybody wanted to be around. You know what I'm saying? Because truth be told, when you come in the word, ain't nobody trying to be around you like that.
Right. Well, that's what I was asking because I think, you said you was good at making friends.
Right.
And also having trouble, with the people pleaser thing. So you gotta pick what side.
Exactly. You gotta pick a side. So it's kind of like now. Mm-hmm. I think I was telling somebody up here, I was like, you know what, man, we went on vacation with my parents one time, and it was just, I was like, man, they're my parents, I love them, but I'd rather go on vacation with somebody in the truth, because it's a understanding of what and what not to do.
Right.
Because, okay, my mom like, she going to buy some fish. I was like, what kind of fish you going to buy? You know, they're going to the fish market. We in Charleston. So, you know, she know we don't eat crab and stuff like that. So she didn't buy that. So she was like, I'm going to get some fish, you know. It's saltwater fish, because, you know, there's salt water. So I was like, okay, make sure you get something with fins and scales.
Mm-hmm.
She come back in the house. I was like, what you got? Well, I got y'all some, I forgot what she got us, some snapper or something.
Mm-hmm.
I got us some shark. I was like, man, what's up? I was like, you don't know shark don't have fins and scales. She was like, what you mean? But I'm like, this the things that we don't have to deal with our family in the word. Like, it's
everybody, it's like that unwritten rule.
Right, yeah, and when you let go of all that stuff, really and truly, you don't miss a beat. Like you.
Oh yeah, you sure don't.
You don't miss a beat. Like you pick back up. Like you get new family with like a understanding of everything. You really don't miss a beat. Like, okay, I meet y'all when I can, see y'all when I can, but.
You bring a whole different family.
Let me tell you something. That probably won't happen again. I'm gonna be the one going to the fish market.
Right.
The Lord give you a whole new family for real, and it's even like how you have like that best friend or that closest brother and sister. You gonna have that in the word too. So you won't. I love them. Like that's my family, but it's just certain things that
certain things you have to let go, and certain things you gotta. It's like it's a whole new walk.
It is.
New, like, old man is gone, can't do the same thing.
Exactly.
So it's like everything about to change.
Yeah, and they don't understand that, because guess what they want to bring up? What you used to do.
Yeah. And that's why you gotta like kind of.
You gotta
pull away.
Like people don't supposed to grow.
Yeah, that's like I always talk about how. You know, they told me I thought I was better than everybody because I don't eat pork no more.
Mm-hmm.
So that let me know, that's a garbage meat.
Yes.
For you to say something like
Trash.
that. But I ain't even say nothing. I just said I don't eat it no more, and that statement came out. But that's what this walk does. It changes dynamics.
Exactly. It does. The whole time they barely invite me somewhere. You know what? And I had got mad too. I was even now. My brother had something at his house, so he had them text me. He was like, hey, we doing something at the house. I was like, man, I ain't coming over there. They over there cooking crab and all that. I ain't coming over there. Because even I was like, y'all got some regular food. But I thought about it, even if y'all do, I don't want to go.
Right.
So the next day, I'm talking to my mom. She was like, yeah, girl, we went to Martin's house and we was over there a long time. We ended up falling asleep on the sofa. I was kind of like, y'all don't kick it with me like that no more. But I was like, you know what? I was like, forget y'all. When this, I was like, you know what? I ain't even gonna be like that. But all y'all on the same thing, so that's just how it's gonna be. Like and
until somebody jumps ship.
Yeah, exactly. Until somebody jumps ship. And my brother, this my twin brother. Mm-hmm. He kind of like, he asks questions, but it be when he going through stuff. Like he'll be like, what's the address to the church? That's how you know he going through something.
Right.
But when everything all good, it be like, God love us all and this and
ain't looking for God.
Ain't looking for God. You over there cooking garlic blue crab. Like, but I had kind of got mad, but I was like, you know what, you can't even get mad. Like, they still, that's their little circle.
Yeah.
That's what they doing.
Man, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, knowing that, and going through that experience, a lot of people starting to wake up. Mm-hmm. A lot of people starting to wake up, new to the word, and more than likely gonna run through run into the same stuff all of us for the most part have dealt with. So what kind of advice would you have for somebody that's new coming into the word?
I would say when dealing with family, don't debate. Just if they have a question to learn, then you deal with that question to learn. If they having a question to like debate with you or to start an argument, you have to be able to discern that, because it will really mess with your spirit real bad. And I would also say, just stand strong in the word. Like, just stand strong in what it is that you're doing, and just don't slip, because they waiting on you to slip. They waiting on that one thing you come to on Saturday, or that the first time, like they're looking at everything that you do, because you're the example of the word, but they're waiting on that one time for you to mess up. So I just say, like, stand strong, study, and don't debate the word of God. Like, if they have a question, be able to answer the question. But as far as debating, and also, like, just let go. Like, I had the issue where I was the people pleaser. Like, everybody wanted to be around me. I dealt with not being invited anymore, or everything being on Saturday, me not understanding, okay, I do this, why you don't have it on Sunday? Like, the Lord will replace all that with what it need to be replaced with. Like, right. He'll put people in your life that's on one accord, like, and you won't miss anything. Like, change is hard at first. Right. For some harder than others, but I just say, like, just make sure you stand firm, because, like, this is the word of God, and it's not supposed to be easy. Right. It's nothing that say it's gonna be easy. Yeah. Like,
actually, it's gonna get hard.
It's gonna get hard. Yeah, it's gonna get hard. So that's just an expectation you got to have. You got to expect things to get hard. Like, if you don't expect that, and you think that it's gonna be easy, then it's gonna be harder than what it should be for you, because your expectations aren't what they should be.
Yeah, you're right about that. Well, I mean, your answer to that, I think that's the first time I heard it. A lot of answers I hear when it comes to how would you tell new people to deal with the word. I think the most common answer is have patience, and that's a real good one. You gotta have patience, but when you tell them don't debate with them, that's great, because sometimes you feel like when you start dealing with this type of doctrine, you so happy, you want everybody to know, and then, like, next thing you know, you get sucked into an argument, and you trying to win the person in, but
then it's an argument,
and you outnumbered. Man, you mess around, there's so many people around,
you getting put out.
Yeah. And then on top of that, you might end up saying some things just to try to protect the Bible that may not be true.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But just walk away from it, and like you said, just answer that question.
That's it. One
Don't
question.
Do more than you need to do.
If you're trying to learn, like, but even if you are asking me to debate with me, we're gonna stick to one question. Right. We're gonna talk at one tone, and we're gonna stick to one question. Don't overwhelm yourself.
Right. Yeah, don't try to force it.
Yeah, don't try
I used to do that.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me one question, and I was eating so much I just couldn't. I was waiting
everything
for
coming out.
And they looking like, this nigga lost his mind. so I learned to deal with that one thing, like, drive somebody crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Think you don't went crazy.
Advice. Huh?
You be saying you went crazy.
Yeah.
Michelle them over there crazy.
Yeah.
You crazy.
Yeah, one thing at a time.
Yep.
Because eventually, as they pay attention to how you actually deal with the Bible, how you actually carry yourself and stuff. They be watching that stuff from a distance. They go back to what you were saying. They be looking for you to mess up.
They looking.
They waiting.
First people they call, and they need somebody to pray for them.
Yep.
Come knock on the door.
Never fails.
No, never fails. Never fails.
I even had Malia auntie. She told us, my wife auntie. She told us that the only reason she came to Atlanta, because she came from Hawaii. We went to South Carolina. She drove to Atlanta, for just so we can pray over.
Right.
That's it. She said, because I know y'all serious. And that was it. She left and flew with him back out of town.
Exactly. You know how she know? Because you have something that's this Bible, like, really convicts you. Like, you take God serious. Like,
right.
You see people going to church on Sunday, but after Sunday, it's a whole nother lifestyle. Like, you taking it serious. Like, you really fear God. So you're going to walk a certain way, and it shows.
Yeah,
but
pay
yeah,
attention to that. Yeah.
and I had to ask Malia one time because it was really bothering me. I was like, y'all talk about everything we doing but when you need prayer, this where you come.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was asking her, I was like, how do you sincerely pray for people? Like, and not be looking at you sideways, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So she had to help me get through that.
Right.
So I was like, how do you sincerely do that? Because I'm looking at you like, pray for you now. Go ask Reverend McDonald, so whoever they is, ask them to pray for you.
Right.
But yeah, that's something I had to get through because yeah. You still have to be able to deliver for them. Like you come and just so we can show them the power of our God.
Right, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like just because we got different gods, like you praying to somebody else and
you are,
yeah.
Well, that's something good to think about, especially when you're trying to win other people in and having their mercy.
Right.
I just look at it like, you know, one thing you said, you got to stand in for them. Then I also think about like the grace and the mercy that the Lord had on us.
Exactly, because we was them at one point. Yeah,
we was them at one point.
Ooh, I could have been took out a long time.
Yeah.
Like
somebody.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so I just thought about it when you said we got to stand in for them. Yeah, you're right. You got to be on. You got to be that one praying for them.
Yes.
You praying to the right God on their behalf. You never know. People be coming in left and right now.
Right. Exactly.
You know, so, hey, that family, your daddy might walk through the door.
Look, my daddy walked through the door. I'm gonna have to stand him up, brother. And they was like, look, y'all, I want to introduce. This is first time.
Oh my goodness. Well, with so many different religions floating around, what impact do you think a better understanding of the Bible will have on people around the world?
Let me see.
Just considering all the different religions, you know, all the different theologies and stuff like that floating around. You know, if they had an understanding on the Bible, do you think it would be that way?
Nope.
How you think? What do you think it would probably look like?
Everybody, you know, it would look like how, in a sense, you know, it's like laws set in place in Israel around the Sabbath. So it would look like us. Like it'll be flooded. Like it would be, of course, it'll be a lot less crime.
Yeah.
It'll be, people won't have the understanding that you can serve your God, I can serve my God, or I could do this, and as long as I pray, I could get through it. Like we would all have a genuine love for one another.
Right.
And first of all, the crime probably would be down more than likely because it's breaking commandments. And I mean, I asked somebody and I was like, I asked my husband this all the time. I was like, just say you're a doctor. And would that be considered like you have to save a life on the Sabbath? Like, would that be considered like breaking the Sabbath because you're a doctor? That's what you do for a living. He was like, well, if everybody kept the Sabbath, it would be you doing good on Sabbath. So
yeah, because somebody had to do it.
Yeah, it's gonna be somebody because everybody gonna be in the church. It's kind of like flying on the airplane. Like 99% of the time, there's gonna be a doctor on that plane. So, like if everybody's doing the same thing, everybody walking on one accord, those won't be the worries.
Right.
Yeah,
those won't be the worries. Absolutely.
And it'll be a lot less separation. Like that's one of the largest forms of separation is religion.
Religion, yeah.
Outside of race, like it's religion.
And you even see the division with race and religion inside the churches.
Yes.
Like that's why they call them black churches, white churches.
Yeah.
You see that division.
Both of y'all are supposed to be Christians following the Bible, but you got a church full of white people, church full of black people. Like that's one of the largest divisions outside of just race. Yes.
Right. Yeah, that's amazing because going back to the question, like you say, you know, it wouldn't be like this. If everybody be serving one God, we have one law, everybody know how to, you know, got those checks and balances and stuff like that. So
Had the rebels here and there, but you wouldn't have.
But it'd be like a big family. You just got a bad child or something.
Exactly.
Like that. Yeah.
Exactly. No
That's how it's
religion.
gonna be when the Lord get back.
That's how it need to be.
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
It does. And thank God we're coming up on that real soon.
Yes.
You know.
Right.
But, so this is, I call this the hot seat, hot button question. It's the last question.
Okay.
You probably gonna know it. I don't know if Reggie got you ready for it. But what's your favorite book or scripture, and tell us why? And scripture.
Favorite book.
Yes.
And scripture.
And tell us why.
This is it. So this okay, can I say this my favorite scripture, but not really my favorite book.
Oh yeah.
My favorite book starts with Genesis.
Your favorite book is Genesis.
The creation.
Okay.
But it starts there because it relates to my favorite class. My favorite class is understanding the creation and how it was made. So that starts with Genesis.
Right.
But my favorite scripture would be Galatians 5:23, the fruits of the spirit. Because hold on, is that it?
Yeah, that's it. But I'm trying to think there was somebody else that had it.
Because that is something that it has to be on repeat.
Right.
Because you keep the commandments, okay? Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. Like you know this. But when it comes to Galatians, kind of give you a soft spot for people. Like it gives you it gives you that thing that you're supposed to have, like as a Christian. Like I'm supposed to be long suffering. I'm supposed to have patience for you. But sometimes we forget that because okay, I got the Big 10 down, and we kind of get off from that. It's like we're being in the truth. I think like Sunday church is all about attitude. Like this what you're supposed to do, but they don't teach the 10 Commandments.
But they definitely do the attitude.
Yes.
That's why they talk soft.
Right.
You know
right. Exactly.
They be trying to exercise gentleness.
Right. Exactly. So I'm like, but like in the same breath, like that's something that I deal with, like having like the attitude, like I'm snappy, and that's because me personally, I feel like I give a lot. So if I feel like I'm being used in any type of way, it'll turn into something else. But I have to realize that I still have to exemplify these fruits of the spirit.
Wow.
In all situations.
Well, it was actually Brother Tony that said
the
Galatians
fruits
5. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. And that's a good one because, like you say, man, you have those 10 down.
Right.
And forgetting about those fruits of the spirit.
Right. I'm doing this like, and you can forget that quick. Like it's even with road rage sometimes.
Yeah, because you fighting against yourself.
Yes, I'm like, man.
You fighting against those emotions in your mind.
Yes.
So, you know, like why I gotta be nice to this person when they talking about me.
Right, but you still have to.
But you got to do it.
You got to.
Those fruits of the spirit, and that just go to what the Lord is making us into.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Him making us guys like Him. So you got these little examples.
Right.
On earth, a little test that you get to practice.
Yeah. Like the person who cut me off from track.
Yeah.
And I'm. And I'm going off like, really? Is it that serious?
Right.
Yeah, like immediately check myself. Like, stop.
Yeah. I think I did that yesterday. Had a little, I wasn't road rage, but I was just like trying to tell the person in front of me. I was flashing the lights real fast. And Malia was like, "Nigga, chill."
Like, man, come on. Like, what you doing? Like,
I was talking crazy.
Exactly. I'm like,
so,
then it'll click. Like, okay, if Jesus was sitting right here, would you be doing all that?
Right. Yeah. I mean, those fruits of the spirit, you can never go wrong with that.
Ever. Yeah.
You can never go wrong with that. But that was it. I definitely want to thank you for coming through, blessing us with your story, how I came to the truth. And just keep on pressing on, my sister.
Oh,
thank you very much.
No problem.
All right.
That was fun.